Well, the rain finally stopped. The sun is out. It's nice and warm. So today, I'll be planting my sweet potatoes. If you remember from last year, my sweet potato crop was a big failure. Absolutely no potatoes grew. Had luscious vines, no sweet potatoes. Even though I didn't fertilize the plants, I think the ground was just too rich for them. It was a new bed, and I think it was just too rich in nitrogen for the plants, so no potatoes actually grew. So I didn't amend the soil this year. It's had a layer of leaves on top, and I'm going to amend the soil with some phosphorus, some bone meal, and they're actually going to start off with a balanced fertilizer, but that'll be the only type of nitrogen that'll be added to the bed at all during this year. Hopefully, that'll be enough to spur the potato production, and this year I can get sweet potatoes. A couple other changes I made to the bed this year. Well, not to the bed, but I cut down the apricot trees that were supposed to be apricot trees that were right behind it in the event that it provided too much shade to the bed. Now, there should be no shade or much shade. Should give it a lot more sun, let's put it that way. I'm going to be planting 3 rows of sweet potatoes here and a foot to every 16 inches going down. So I'm not quite sure how many that should get us. Maybe about 18 to 21 plants in here. I should have, well, I'll have more than enough plants to go in. But recall I potted them up and they're doing well. So we want to get them in the ground. And as you can see, this is still has the layer of chopped leaves on top and down underneath. So should be good soil for the plants to grow in, and hopefully there'll be not too much nitrogen in the soil to affect the plants. So I'm going to start by amending the soil, and this is just a balanced organic 10-10-10 fertilizer. This is some bone meal and some potassium sulfate. And I'm just going to work this into the top layer of the soil. So as I said, I'm going to be planting 3 rows of plants. And as you can tell, the plants have taken really well to being planted in the soil in these pots. So I'm hoping that it gives them a good start, that they'll just get up and running right away, as opposed to just putting a bare root into the ground. So first things first, I'll open up a hole. And they haven't gotten very far along yet, but you can see roots are starting to develop here. So, and then we'll cover it back up. We got some earthworms in here. So I'll do that same thing on the next plant. What I found in here is the horse bedding that I filled up the bed with partially. I'm surprised it hasn't broken down really. This one is doing a little bit better with the root system. So plant that right in there. and fill in around it. Maybe make a little mound around each of them. And we'll do the same thing with the last one. And this one is doing even better with the roots. Even starting to spiral around, so I'll take them, open them up a little bit, and put them right in. So we've got the 3 plants in. I'm just going to move the mulch back in around the plants. Not covering up the plants, but moving it back around. And we'll end up watering them in. And I'll go down and get the rest of the bed. So this bed is a acorn production factory. Could turn it into an oak tree farm. Just got so many acorns. And the thing is, I don't have any oak trees close by that have all these acorns in here. So squirrels, birds, whatever are probably planting them or dropping them in here. So I've reached the end of the ones that I had potted. And now I have these that have been setting in water. And I mean, the root system on that looks pretty good. So I'm not anticipating any problems with these plants taking off. I got some that are really long, and I'll end up trimming them once I put them in the ground. I just think you want the roots to establish and not worry about growing the vine just yet. So the bed is planted. I got 18 in, really squeeze those in at the end there. But I got 18 plants in, about a foot apart each. I trimmed back the long vines to about the 3rd leaf. And I think that should give them enough difference between being able to catch the sun's rays and not causing aspiration on the leaves. So now all I have to do is just water them in. I mean, the plants were pretty well watered anyway, but just to have them settle down in the soil. Now these plants here are the ones that I had potted up. So those pots were actually pretty damp as it is. So they're not going to need much water at all. The other ones that were just the bare root. Not that they're going to need a lot, but they'll be watered in a little bit more than these. And hopefully in 4 months' time, we'll have sweet potatoes this time. So that's another job done. Only got a couple more plants that I need to put in. My peppers and my tomatoes, a little behind on putting them into the ground. We'll address that very soon. But if you want to see what we were doing in the garden last week, check out that video right there. And then subscribe and hit that notification bell. And that way you'll be able to follow along on the progress on all of our vegetables as we try to grow a supermarket in our own backyard. Okay, let's go grow something awesome.